It's the top 10 action figures of 2023 on the way I got it figured.
The way I got it figured.
So for our first honorable mention, we've got the Drizzt, Doran, and Guinevere set from Dungeons & Dragons from Hasbro Pulse. I got this figure finally after years and years of him being out, not buying him, not pulling the trigger. He was like 20 bucks, so I couldn't resist. But got him and was pleasantly surprised. He does have some balance issues because the cape sort of weighs him down a bit, but the figure is great. He has all of the articulation and features that you would get on most of your Hasbro, figures, where some of them would get it and some of them wouldn't. He sort of is a deluxe version where he's kind of getting everything. So he's got hands, he's got heads, he's got hair that comes off. He's a great figure. He's pinless. He was pinless years before they started really doing pinless figures. And yeah, he's great. Guinevere is great. He is the prototypical animal for what we're seeing mostly in the G.I. Joe Classified series. And I'm thinking about picking up the second version of Drizzt just because this one is so great. It always makes for something cool to review on the channel. So yeah, Drizzt is our first honorable mention. Our second honorable mention goes to G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Card Snake Eyes. Why is he on the list? He's already the #1 G.I. Joe Classified figure for me for 2023. Not necessarily that he was the best figure, but he was my favorite figure. He was what I got that I enjoyed the most. And I didn't put him in the numerical part of this list because I already made him #1 for G.I. Joe Classified series. But, it's Snake Eyes. He's one of my favorite characters. Definitely always a great time getting him. But also, he's one of the most viewed videos on the channel. And I did want to, acknowledge a couple of those high view videos, for my channel, because I don't get, 900 and 1,000, view videos all that often. So for that reason, Snake Eyes is an honorable mention on the list. Now, let's get into the actual list. At number 10, we've got Indiana Jones Adventure Series, Indiana Jones Temple Escape Set. So this Indiana Jones is what I would call the default Indiana Jones character from Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is my favorite movie of the entire Indiana Jones saga. Of course, it's the first movie, but it's also the best movie. So, fight me. But Raiders of the Lost Ark is a masterpiece, pulp fiction, and this one encapsulates Indiana Jones in great detail. They put a lot of detail into the figure, a lot of wrinkles and weathering in the jacket, and clasps to hold the holster. Just a lot of cool things. A lot of love went into this figure. I wish that it came with a removable hat. I didn't want to have to buy a whole nother Indiana Jones to get a removable hat or whatever. Just stuck with this one. I didn't want to invest heavily into the line, but I did want the quintessential Indiana Jones because he's a quintessential pop culture character that we all, or a lot of us, love anyway. So yeah, he's pretty low on the list, but anything that gets on this list is something that was, thoroughly enjoyed, by me in terms of overall satisfaction with it. And there's only 10 things on the list, so, other than the couple of honorable mentions that I already did. But yes, Indiana Jones, pretty much don't need another Indiana Jones. And he is number 10 on our list. At number 9, we've got Marvel Studios She-Hulk from Marvel Legends. This figure, I love this figure. I was very happy to get it. I know it came out in 2022, but I didn't get it until 2023. She got a review on the channel. It's actually one of the most highly reviewed videos on my channel. Go figure. But I love the figure. I think it's a great figure. I enjoyed the show. I actually think this show is better than some of the ones they did after that. I get that people are down on the quote-unquote MCU or whatever, but I don't care about that. Give me a good story. I just want to see good stories. But in terms of action figures, I also want to see good action figures. So no matter what I think of the show, whether I liked it or hated it, I love this action figure. It's a great action figure. So yeah, that's pretty much sums it up for me for her. She is number 9 on our list. At number 8, I'm kind of cheating and doing a split vote. And no, I'm not going to be doing this for every number. I just think that's cheap, so I'm not going to do that. But I do have a couple of split votes, and I try to apply some logic to it. But at number 8, we've got Transformers Legacy Voyager Tarn and Transformers Reactivate, let's call him a Voyager, Optimus Prime. Both of these figures, they were bought, they couldn't buy them farther apart in the year. Tarn was at the very beginning of the year, Optimus Prime at the very end. So, hopefully that just goes to show there's no recency bias. She-Hulk is on this list as well. So, I bought her early in 2023. But both of these figures are, pretty much awesome for different reasons. But I wanted them both on the list. And, there's other characters, other figures that have to go on here. So to describe or discuss a little bit why Tarn's here, well, he's a, spot on likeness to the IDW comic villain. He's a great figure. There's also Bludgeon, who could honestly go on the list right along with him. They're both just about as good as the other, but Tarn is the kind of staple boy for this mold, so it's got to be him. And then Optimus Prime, for Recharge, I just think it's a great figure. It's just awesome. He's a little bit more beefed up version of Optimus from a video game, but still fits in with all your regular generation figures. He even carries a Matrix of Leadership. That's the exact same Matrix of Leadership that they've been putting on all of the quote-unquote G1 Optimus Primes. So yeah, I do like him for a, G1 Optimus Prime of a sort. So yeah, both of these guys, love to play with them, love to put them in poses, look at them, take pictures with them, all of it. So yeah, number 8 on your list, Tarn and Optimus Prime. Splitting the vote at number 7 is Luke Skywalker Imperial Light Cruiser from the Vintage Collection and the Black Series. Both of these figures are awesome versions of Luke Skywalker in his Jedi Knight gear from The Mandalorian. And I was, over the moon pretty much for both of them. Trivia fact, Luke Skywalker Imperial Light Cruiser for the Vintage Collection is the top viewed video on my channel, period. By pretty far margin. It's the most viewed video. Currently like 1,600 views. I know my channel's small potatoes, but it's a big deal here. I don't know what it was about the video. Didn't do anything special. Didn't do anything bad, but didn't do anything necessarily over the top when I reviewed him. But I was extremely happy, extremely satisfied, excited about having the figure in both cases here. And I didn't want to split them up for different numbers because I like them both the same. The Vintage Collection, I have lots and lots of Vintage Collection figures. With the Black Series, I sort of get hero versions of my favorite characters. So they're both doing what they're supposed to do in their particular regard. And they're number 7 on the list. At number 6, we've got Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 Ryu in all of his incarnations. So, the Jada Toys Street Fighter series debuted last year in 2023. The first figure released technically was Ryu. And then he subsequently got a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Evil Ryu version and a Paul's Mart exclusive Player 2 version. They're all great in their own way. I don't think any of them are really any better than the other ones. They're all legit. And this Street Fighter line is taking the world by storm. $25 for an action figure that's every bit as good, if not better, than like a Marvel Legends or something like that. It's a great value. And Ryu, while my favorite character, is actually the least good figure that they put out yet. So spoiler alert there. But it's Ryu, Jada Toys. He was always going to make this list. I just didn't know how it was going to shake out because you got a long ways to go. 365 days of toys is a lot of days. But there you go. Street Fighter from Ultra Street Fighter 2 from Jada Toys. Ryu, number 6. At number 5, we got our second Street Fighter entry on this list. Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 Fei Long. This figure's great. He's just a tad better than Ryu. As you can see, he's posing on one leg, doing a kick. It's pretty great, pretty well balanced. Excellent posability, excellent balance. It's an awesome figure. And as I mentioned in the Ryu portion, Ryu's my favorite, but this Fei Long figure is just a tad bit better. I already talked about Ultra Street Fighter 2 and everything, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But he's a great figure, and he is number 5 on the list, Fei Long. At number 4, we've got Marvel Legends Black Widow from Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest. And as you can see, this is an excellent figure who can pose in extremely dynamic ways, which is what vaulted her to the top of the Marvel Legends list. And she had to make another appearance here because she's just that good. The future for Marvel Legends female figures seems pretty bright with this release. They definitely went above and beyond with the posability of the figure, gave her a new diaphragm, and they just went all out with this one. So yeah, Black Widow, already talked about her a lot. I'm sure there's more to say, but we got to get on with it. So Black Widow is number 4. At number 3 is the strongest woman in the world. The only woman I probably put in an action figure standpoint above Black Widow for 2023. We've got Jada Toys, Ultra Street Fighter 2, Chun-Li. As you can see, I chose to show why the figure is here. This figure, it's a $25 action figure that you can do this with. That's a spot-on representation of the character that it's made to be. I don't know what else to tell you after that. Chun-Li is, of the Street Fighter figures released thus far, in my humble opinion, the best of the bunch. And that's saying something because they're all on this list, all of them. At one point I considered putting them all just as one number, and I was like, no, that's just disservice to that would just be disservice to the figures themselves. They're individually ranked because they're individually good. And Street Fighter, if I was doing like a top line of the year, it probably would get it even over G.I. Joe Classified. Like I said, of the 3 Street Fighter figures characters that they released, Chun-Li is number 1. She's number 1, easy. So yeah, she's number 1 for Street Fighter, but she's number 3 on this list. At number 2, we've entered the Haslab stage of the contest, and you've got none other than Transformers Generations Legacy Haslab Death Source. This figure is, the ultimate companion to Victory Saber from last year, and he's everything that you would want from Death Source. He was exactly as advertised. It's a great figure, great set, and very, very pleased to have him sitting on his throne, ordering around some Decepticons, making evil plans. And he's an excellent figure. Excellent, next year, we can only hope to have something as nice as this. Early reports is probably going to be Primus, and we'll see what happens with that. I don't know for the money if I'm going to want to go in this time. Not that I wouldn't want a Primus, but can't just. It's a lot more. It's a lot more of a consideration if it's going to be like a $500 Haslab. So it's gotta see how it goes. But we don't even know it's going to be Primus for certain yet. We will find out next week as I film this video. But yes, one of the penultimate Transformers villains, Death Source, is number 2. At number 1, we've got the figure of the year, the figure set of the year, and it can be only the Haslab His Tank from G.I. Joe Classified series. Haslabs gotta go somewhere. I don't put them in the lists of whatever collection they're from, because they would be the top there. So I'd rather them be the top here but Haslabs are hard to beat, extremely hard to beat, almost impossible to beat. For any domestic product, I would say you'd have to go outside of the U.S. market to get a toy that you're gonna be able to top a Haslab. And at the top of the heap is the Haslab His Tank. You know, what else can you say about it? You know, it's got all the features, great figures. You got the Cobra Commander retro card, and you know, battery operated light up consoles, Cobra symbols, headlights. All the turrets are posable. You know, missile effects. You can use the effects from scrap iron and stuff on the missiles. I mean, it's, you know, it's all of it. And I'm very happy to have it. Thanks once again to my buddy Phil over at Crossfire Collectibles. And yeah, I'm super stoked to have this figure in my collection, this set in my collection. Can't wait for the Dragonfly copter. That, spoiler alert, assuming we get it in time, will be on the 2024 list, very high on the list. So, you know, but it is what it is. You know, that's what you buy these days for. So yeah, that's number one. I'm gonna come back with final thoughts. Final thoughts on the top 10 action figures of 2023 from where I got it figured. This is just the human guys, you know. I didn't put the Transformers in. Didn't want to try and fit the His Tank and all those guys in. And I put Luke Skywalker and those guys back already, so just went with these 5. But, you know, the top 10 list was a little bit easier to do this year. I had some things I really liked. There were some other things. I almost did a straight Star Wars list, and maybe for 2024 I will do that. There's some figures coming up that I really think are gonna be special, and maybe I'll do a top 2023 Star Wars list at some point down the road. You know, you're always looking for different types of videos you can do. So, you know, I might still do it, just not as a part of the regular annual rotation. But I do buy enough Star Wars that, honestly, they probably could get their own video. In fact, you know, a lot of 10s got handed out in Star Wars the Vintage Collection. I do think overall, though, I gave out less 10s across the year, perhaps, than I did in 2022. And of course, you know, I didn't have the channel the entire year of 2022. I was really trying to be picky as far as I could, as far as what I really enjoyed, really loved. But all 5 of these figures would go in that, you know, in that category very easily. So yeah, it's making it a lot easier with all the reuse in G.I. Joe Classified and Marvel Legends to just pick figures that, you know, you feel it. You feel that figure. You know, it makes it very easy to pick. So yeah. So there's that, and definitely got a lot more content to come. Wanted to make sure I had all of my top 10 lists done in the calendar month of January. G.I. Joe Classified, you know, it took a little bit of time to do because there were so many figures. It was just so hard to pick. And I didn't even want to really get into putting G.I. Joe Classified series in this list because it would have just complicated it, you know, even more. So that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks guys for supporting the channel. Keep it up. You know, new subscribers, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Got a lot more content coming. I do stop motions with Transformers, and I've been working on those, and we're gonna be hopefully doing a stop motion series with Transformers coming up here. You know, but yeah, that's what we got going, and hopefully you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment on your top 10. If you did a video, if you're a fellow creator, you know, link to your video. I don't care about that. It's not really about competition to me. So, you know, please do so. I love to watch other people's videos and look at other lists and everything like that. So don't ever think that I'm gonna be that guy that's like, don't put that on my channel. You know, my comment section. I don't care about that, dude. I don't. But until the next video, everybody stay safe and go Ravens. Peace.
The way I got it figured.